welcome back to my channel. It's Emily and I have some really exciting news for you today. This is the Disney World area of my Lego City and I have not really gotten too much work done on this over the last few months. As you can see on the table, there's just so much empty space. The sets don't really make sense as they are, and then there's a railroad track kind of just going to nowhere. But that'll be changing very soon. I am so excited to say that I am finally gonna be spending a lot more time in this area of the Lego City, and especially along Main Street here. I wanna have it be really fun and colorful, tons of characters kind of taking pictures out there, even like tourists taking pictures in front of the castle. I think that would be really fun. So in this video, I'm gonna be going over a bunch of my future plans for this region of the Lego City, and please, throughout this video, leave me comments down below. Let me know what you think about things, if you have any suggestions, because I would love to hear from you. As for a quick little recap of what we have going on in the Lego City so far, there's a bunch of different regions, but over here to the left-hand side, we have Downtown Ladyburg. This is essentially just the downtown area of my Lego City where all of my modulars are, the road plates, tons of shops and vehicles. This will be pretty much staying put, but also expanding because I've noticed recently we're kind of out of space in this area, so I need to expand it maybe into a third city block. I was hoping to have an ocean back here, but I'm not sure how much room we're actually gonna have for that, so stay tuned. Hopefully we can figure that out eventually. And then we'll move over into like a forest area. We have Endor over there, the Lego Ideas treehouse. I wanna add Elvendale, like from Lego Elves. I think that would be really cool to include. Maybe a neighborhood behind that if there is room. That's always a limiting factor in Lego cities. But then that will lead into Disney World. And this is the part that I am most excited to keep working on. It's an area where I can just be super creative and have a ton of fun with it, add colors and characters, and I don't think there's any wrong decisions to make in Disney World. Currently in this area though, it's a bit different than normal. NBC actually came to my house a few weeks back and they were filming in here, and I just wanted to have it presentable, especially since this area of the Lego City isn't done yet. I just wanted to have everything as clutter-free as possible, which explains a lot of the empty space we have going on there, as well as the sets just kind of being lined up in ways that don't really make sense. So this set placement here is going to be a huge change that's going to happen over the next few weeks, but I'm really excited for it. I also want to start doing mills in the Disney World area, and currently a lot of these Lego sets haven't been converted to mills yet, but if we move over to the Downtown Ladyburg area, you'll see that everything here is mills. It's easier to see along the sides there with the brick and a plate elevating everything up a bit. I really do recommend using the mill system if you're starting a Lego city. It just makes things so much easier, especially if you move things around a lot like I do. It just makes your life 10 times easier at least. But yeah, so that's what I want to do over in this region as well. As you can see, some of the sets have been elevated. You can see a few pieces exposed under that set there, so that's already in the mill system. But we need to convert all of these as well, and that's just going to take forever. Some of them are already built on plates though, so that makes it a little bit easier. But there's still a bunch of modifications to be made. And speaking of mills, I also want to convert the Disney Castle to the mill system, and honestly, I'm not really too sure how to do that. It's elevated up by one of the IKEA Big Lick boxes, which I totally recommend. It's a really cheap way of adding a bunch of volume without spending a ton of money. I believe this box here was $20 US or something like that, so it's way cheaper than however many Pick-a-Brick cups you would have to buy to fill up that same amount of space. And as for the rockwork along the sides of it, obviously it is not done that well. This was our first try at rockwork, so there's a lot that we've learned throughout it, and even though we are going to be completely redoing this base, there's a few features that I do want to keep. I love that there's platforms along the side so you can have a bunch of Disney characters for shows at night, or just saying hi to the guests. I think that'll be really cool. That's kind of a must-have for me. And then of course the stairway as well. You can see one of the pieces in there is a slightly different color than the others, so I'm gonna change that out hopefully. We actually just got a bunch of these dark bluish gray bricks, so I'm gonna try to replace those ASAP. And then as for the Walk of Fame in my Lego City, I love how it looks, but I'm not sure if I want it to stay here. These are a bunch of channel members, so if you do want your name on a sticker in my Lego City, please do check out my membership perks. But I'm actually considering moving a bunch of these stickers over to Downtown Ladyburg because I feel like they're more on show over there, and of course these members want to see their stickers. That's really important. So I'm kind of considering placing them along the sidewalks here, kind of like this. We will see. I am not completely sure yet, but if you guys have any suggestions, please do let me know. And then let's talk about the train for a moment. As you can see, the train is not on the railing. It's kind of off there just because we're not really sure what to do with the railing at this point. Obviously, it is just kind of to a stop right there, but I would like to have it loop around because we're working on this Mario world, and I think that'll look really cool in the long run, but I'm just not sure if that's a waste of space because railroad tracks take up so much room. It's almost ridiculous. I love having that motion in the Lego City, but I don't know if it's worth taking up that much room on the tables. So let me know your thoughts on that as well. But yeah, these definitely won't stay there forever, trust me. One of the options with the railroad that I'm considering is having it kind of loop around the Mario world in the frontier, go back behind the Disney castle, behind Elsa's castle, and then loop around the roller coaster. So it's really just confined to the Disney World amusement park area, but then there's no train or any motion in the rest of the city. So I'm kind of torn on that. And then as for the space to the left of the Disney castle, I'm not really sure what to do with this. We have the Ferris wheel and the carousel, which doesn't make too much sense. I feel like that's too many amusement park rides right next to each other. But I think it would be kind of cool to move the Ferris wheel to the back a little bit, or maybe even put it into this corner up here, just to have it against the white wall, having it in the back so it's not blocking anything too much. I think that could be kind of cool. But then down here, I would love to have a Toon Town area, and I have all of the Disney 4+ sets. I think they're really cool, but I'm just not sure exactly how to implement that. I would have to do a bunch of mocks on my own, which of course I'm not that great at. I enjoy it, but just finding all the pieces is so challenging sometimes. But yeah, I think having a Toon Town would be really cool so that I could get a good use out of all of those sets. And then a project that I haven't touched in probably a year is this ice castle back there. Let's go take a closer look. I've used a bunch of the IKEA Big Lick boxes, just smaller versions than what's elevating the Disney castle, because I really do think that they're a better use of money and space. And so what I'm hoping to do is kind of build up this icy kind of mountain rock wall along either side of it, and then having a tunnel where the train can go through. And I've tried this earlier. I made a video about that a while back, but I just wasn't thrilled with how it turned out. And it really just looks like Elsa's castle is on these boxes. It doesn't look like a mountain. But to be completely fair, last time I was working on this, I had zero experience with rock work, and it probably shows from what I've accomplished on it so far. So I'd like to just kind of take it all apart, start over, and do it better. I just really like the idea of having a tunnel in here, so hopefully I can make that work and make it look good. I'm sure whatever I do will be better than what I did last time. And then one final thing is this area here. I haven't really talked about what I want to do here yet, so let's do that. I do have the Disney train station, and I think it would be nice to kind of just move it back a little bit so that the people can get off of the train and enjoy Disney World, but then also include a lot more of these Creator 3-in-1 scale sets along it, because I have a bunch of them, as you can see, with no real purpose for them. There's also a few castles. You can kind of see Belle and the Beast's castle way in the back there. So kind of making this like a shopping district along with Main Street would be really cool to include. So overall, these are my plans for the Disney World area of my Lego City. Again, I have not touched this in months, so I'm really excited to get back into it and start building, start being creative in this region. I just love all of the color and the sets and just Disney in general. So I think it'll turn out to be really cool in the end. But anyways, please do let me know in the comments below if you have any ideas or suggestions. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please consider doing so down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.